Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. We are buzzing as always. It's your host, Matt Sahab, and I'm super pumped to have one of the GOATs of the pod back on for not round one, not round two, but round three. We have Rajat coming back on the show, co-founder and project lead of Push Protocol, formerly known as EPNS. Harsh has over 12 years of experience in entrepreneurial settings, you name it, tech, system architect, development, design, in a bunch of different tech fields, including mobile, web services, SaaS, and blockchain. This lad has also previously been on the Crypto News pod twice, coming in for round three, and has spoken judge at multiple tech conferences and hackathons, including Messari Mainnet, ETHCC, ETHDenver, Schelling Point, ETHAmsterdam, NFT NYC, Liscon, HackMoney, and EDCON. Harsh, my friend, super pumped to have you on. Great to see you again. How are you? Welcome back for round three.
Hey, Matt. Really excited to be here. And thanks for that awesome intro. That was one of the most smoothest intro I have heard about me. So yeah, thanks for that. Very pumped to be here.
Pumped to have you on as well, mate. You are currently 9 hours ahead of me in this beautiful world that we live in, and you are sipping on what looks to be a nice Americano, maybe an espresso, looks like an Americano. And you and I were chatting a little bit before the show. You take me as a guy who hauls a lot of ass, who works his ass off and doesn't get a lot of sleep. What's the average nightly sleep time for Harsh? You a 4-hour guy, 6-hour guy, 8-hour guy? I feel like you're just coding and building nonstop all day long.
I would like to be an 8-hour guy, but most of the time it's 4 to 6 hours. I love to work at night, or I love to code at night. Most of the time in the mornings, I'm with my team, making sure that they are unblocked. So night is the only time that I can unblock myself. So I love that. I love to code with focus, and that is something I think crypto nights are meant for.
Is there, again, I'm not a dev guy, so I've never known this. And I do like putting in the odd night shift, but I'm a morning guy. And I feel like a lot of coders and a lot of devs, if I need to get a lot of work done and I have team stuff from, we'll call it, 9 to 2, and I know I have sort of a bit of a half an hour break for lunch at around 12:31, and I can't get any deep work done from 9 to 2 because, the team and I are buzzing, I'll get up at 5:30, I'll get up at 6, I'll go for a quick little run, a quick little walk. And I'll work from 6:45 to 9. I'll put in a bit of a 2.5-hour shift. But I hear all these stories about devs just hauling ass throughout the night. What is it with you guys and your love for putting in night shifts? Is there any correlation or causation? What's the reasoning behind this?
Sure. So I like to think about it like devs. We have something in our brain, maybe there's something called RAM. So RAM is basically that the memory gets reset every time you restart. So I kind of think about it like that when you are developing, right, before you start coding, you have to build the architecture in your head or in your RAM. And that doesn't really work well if you have meetings coming up, because once you go to a meeting, that RAM just gets lost. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why devs love to work at night, because, they can build everything in their head without any distraction and then just go on and execute that. So I would say, yeah, it's because probably we have RAM.
I love it. Let's jump into Push Protocol, which was formerly EPNS. Before we get into all the fun stuff and your partnership with MetaMask Snaps and, of course, Unstoppable Domains, we had Cindy Carter on the show as well. Incredible guest. You guys are working together. Just a match made in heaven. Domains, so important. Comms, so important. The two coming together, exactly what we need. Before we get into that, Harsh, just for our listeners who perhaps may have not caught you on round 1 or round 2, give them the TLDR and the elevator pitch on Push Protocol, what you and the team are working on, and then we'll get into some of the fun stuff.
Awesome, for sure. So, when you have to think about Push, there's a very simple way you can think about it. For instance, in all of the Web3, whenever we are interacting with something, whether it's buying domain, whether it's taking a loan, whether it's interacting in Web3 social, or even going from L2 to L1 and vice versa. What you're doing, you are essentially interacting with a smart contract or a protocol, right? And how are you interacting? Well, the only way you can interact with this protocol is by your wallet address or your NFT. And that basically means that your wallet addresses are your Web3 usernames. And once you get to know or get to understand that, okay, these are the Web3 usernames and Web3 only knows about this, and or any other protocol only knows about this Web3 wallets, then it makes so much sense to understand that if we want the same UX as a Web2 company, then how can we do that? And the answer to that is we can only do that if this Web3 usernames or wallet addresses have native communication support, whether it's in the form of notifications, whether it's in the form of chat, whether it's in the form of audio and video calling. For example, like in your Web tour, what's the first thing that you do when you get up in the morning? You take a look at your phone and you have notifications from all the important apps that you're going
Bingo.
around and playing with, right? And that is what Push brings to Web3. Push is essentially a decentralized communication middleware. And what it means is it enables protocols, blockchains, even Web 2.5 companies to send notifications, whether on chain or off chain, to send chat, to send audio and video call, that are now directly tied to your wallet address. And because this is an interoperable network and secure network, mobile apps or crypto wallets, mobile apps like Unstoppable or crypto wallets as MetaMask Snap, they can now just tap into the network and can show you all the important notifications about all your important activities. So because of Push, now what happens is that you have changed this user experience, wherein if you take a loan, you're near, when you are about to be liquidated, you can get an alert right on your wallet. When you are doing governance, you can be notified if a governance proposal is out. When you are on socials, you can be notified if someone is liking or commenting on your post, which is all the things that we actually need to re-engage the public and socialize. And these are not just in theory now. A lot of protocols basically use Push. So, for example, Coindesk uses it to send notifications about news. We also are getting used with SafeShip for governance proposal. DYDX is using us for loans. Decentraland is also using Push. And around 600 plus protocols, including the like of Uniswap, including the like of Gitcoin, Polygon, and a whole lot of other people, also Unstoppable. They are using Push to basically make sure that this re-engagement is getting into Web3. That is around notifications. And of course, then we have chat, which Unstoppable recently integrated. And that is, again, a different beast, but very, very cool feature that we have built, wherein you can now have group chats among wallets that hold a certain activity or that have done a certain activity. For example, you might hold X number of tokens, and because of that, you are going into this Web3 native group chat and you are directly admitted into it because you are able to match that specification that the group has. We call it gated group chats, and we are very, very excited about it because Unstoppable just integrated that out as well.
What a great way to kick this off. And we will definitely get back into the Unstoppable partnership, which again is massive for the space. I want to go back to notifications as a whole, because this still blew my mind when I had you on first, give or take about 2 years ago. And when you first explained the company similar to how you just did, I was thinking there's literally no friggin' notifications in all of Web3. Like the only notifications that I get are the odd email and Twitter notifications. Like I get an airdrop, don't really know, have to check. I get there's a new airdrop for my NFT, don't really know, have to check. Company X, Y, or Z is being dissolved or is doing something. Like I have to check their Twitter. Like for everything that happens, I either need to go to a company's Discord or a company's Twitter, and it makes no sense. And thank God that you guys are building this, that we finally now have a solution that gives you a little notification that pings you and says, hey, protocol or company or software X, Y, or Z that you are interested in has done something new. Here's us notifying you. Like it's crazy that it took so long. Why didn't anyone go at this? Like it's bonkers to me, Harsh.
It was bonkers to me as well, Matt. Like when we started back in 2020, it actually took me 10 days of courage to actually write to Ethereum Foundation, because we started from Ethereum, about this, because I was like, this is such a stupid idea. This would have been built, and what people will say is that, they will basically laugh at me because I'm proposing something which is so needed. But yeah, thankfully it was not built, so we got to invent Web3 notifications. And yeah, you're right. Like all of these use cases that you just defined, like when you get an airdrop, what do you do? Like there's no way for you to know. Well, after push, because we are also integrated with Bankless now, Bankless uses push to send airdrop notifications. You can get it done, or you can now have a way by which these notifications will just pop up on your MetaMask Snap or on your Unstoppable app or anywhere else where push is integrated on the wallet. Same thing with companies getting wrecked. Well, Rect also uses us to send notifications out, so that also gets solved. But yeah, coming back to your point, like this idea is so crucial for Web3 users, or for Web3 to grow into a billion users. Like I always maintain and say that we have to remember that a million devs does not equal a billion users. And there is something that we have to understand around it, right? A million devs is basically you are calling devs who are okay to understand documentation, abstraction. They don't mind if they don't get important stuff from the protocol, because it's supposed to be their job to figure all these things out. But when we are talking about users, we need to change that line that I'm in it for the tech, because users are not in it for the tech. For example, like Riverside, right? I am not in Riverside recording this podcast because I'm into Riverside tech. I'm here because the features is something that is very smooth for me. And how does that happen? Because, the website abstracts away everything. And this is the same thing what Push does in terms of communication. Like it abstracts away all the Web3 complexities of how to make the thing work and how to make it basically compatible with wallets, and making sure that it ties to the wallet, and how to have this blockchain of communication. Like all of those things is abstracted away by Push. So now all the protocols need to do is just use Push to re-engage the user and basically get that entire Web2 UX to Web3.
I love that. Let's go back to the Unstoppable partnership. This was massive. Obviously, you guys partnered with Unstoppable Domains, the leader of decentralized and Web3 domains. And you guys have launched token gated messaging, which is now live for all just under 4 million, 3.8 million Unstoppable Domains users. And 400,000 groups went live at launch. I'm sure there is much more than that right now. Walk me through this partnership. What is the importance of it? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, match made in heaven. Everyone who has an Unstoppable domain, that is sort of like your Web3 username across a myriad of dApps, apps, protocols, you name it. It's just sort of a central point, connects with Push, and now you get notifications to your domains. Match made in heaven. How did this go down? How long did it take? What's the significance of this? Give us the TLDR.
Got it. So, I mean, Unstoppable, like we have a very deep relationship with them. It's spanned back at least I think it's at least 3 years old, because when we launched this notification thing, or when we launched this notification protocol, I spoke to the founder of Unstoppable. His name is Matt, and he was just really into like what we are building. And I think at that point of time, their vision was also going towards making sure that Web3 is more engaged and Web3 is more communicatable. So basically, I spoke to him right at the very start of my journey. And then we had this podcast, which was like Rockstars of Ethereum. And I invited him, and then I got to know that he loves a soft drink that's available in India. He really likes it. It's called Thumbs Up. And he also loves Doom, which is something I wrote in my blog. And because I also like Doom. So that is how it started. But after that, the way this thing happened was told them that this is what we are going towards. We told them about the vision. They loved the vision. And 6 months back from now, they were thinking like how to get this vision integrated into Unstoppable as a whole. And that got started with them implementing notifications for push. So right now, anyone who's sending notifications on push, any protocol, Unstoppable basically shows that because they are integrated at the notification level as well. But at that point of time, when that integration was happening, we understood the value of community, and we understood that Web3 communication as a whole hasn't tapped into the community part of it. And that's when we shared with them, like, this is something that we are working on, which is around Web3 native community. So imagine when you're chatting, like notification is like, let's come to push chat, right? So when we were building this native Web3 chat or wallet to wallet chat or NFT to wallet chat, like push is the only one that supports that. But when we were building that, we kind of realized that, again, if you're thinking about a billion users, users are in it for the future. So why would a user switch from Telegram or chatting with his friend on Telegram to something else? And we kind of realize that the user will not shift just because we are telling them that it's decentralized. That's just the tenet of Web3. But the user will shift when you provide them a feature which is over the top of what they are already doing. And that led us to creating this gated group functionality. The idea was that this gated group works just like a DAO, but as a group format, right? So let's say you are a DAO, or let's say you are an NFT, or let's say you just have some very unique tokens. Now, the idea is that any one of them, they can come and create this group via push chat, wherein they can specify that if you have X amount of tokens, then you can join the group. If you have Y amounts of token, then you can send a message out. And it's just not limited on the token. It covers all the Web3 hierarchy and even Web2 hierarchy if you want to. So what Unstoppable did was, Unstoppable said that we have badges on Unstoppable when someone has a Polygon name, or when someone is a crypto Web3 whale, or when someone is on Rarible and have bought a Rarible NFT. And all of these badges and all of these communities, they love to talk to each other, right? Because that's a community. And there is no way for Web2 chat to bring that community together. But with the gated group chat, you can just define those Web3 wallet personas or attributes, and all of a sudden you have a way by which all of these communities that share the same vision, they can join this group chat and they can talk about it. And they loved that concept, and they loved it so much that, you know, they went live with the group, and then Twitter chatter started, and there was this Web3 whale group that they created. And that Web3 whale group, I think they wanted emojis. So while we were working on our emoji implementation, they just took our backend and the protocol APIs and they created one of their own. So now we are learning from them, and we are bringing the features that they have launched first. Now they also did blocking in the group, and they also introduced images and sending GIFs to the group. So yeah, I love like how they work, and I love their engineering team as well. Like, I'm really, really enamored by the way they implement these features. I've told them also. I think that is probably one of the reason I also want to, you know, code at night, because I just have to match, or we at Push, we just have to match with the crazy amount of dev work that Unstoppable and so many other partners do with us.
I love it. Harsh, you are on a roll, mate. We have a bunch more to get into, but we got to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of the show, Prime XBT. When we get back, we are going to keep buzzing on everything push related, get into the MetaMask Snap partnership, the ETH narrative, and maybe if we have time, we'll even get into Farcaster. I know you and the team joined Farcaster. I got to ask some questions about that. But until then, huge shout out to Prime XBT, longtime friends of CryptoNews.com and longtime sponsors of the Crypto News podcast. We love the team at Prime XBT as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a veteran. You can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XBT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News podcast. The promo code is CryptoNews50. That's CryptoNews50 all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Again, that is Crypto News 50, all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Harsh, we got to talk about MetaMask Snaps. Huge partnership. Give us the down low.
Again, this ties back way back to how we started. I think a lot of my stories are like this full circle, and that is something I tell the founders as well, that if you are in Web3, you need to talk about what you're building in public, because that's what we did. And that is how this story also started. Like when we told people that this is something that we want to build for Web3, one of the replies that we got on that tweet and on that POC was from Dan Finlay, who's a co-founder of MetaMask. And he was like this current architecture that you have, that V0 version architecture will not work with the crypto wallet because you're asking too much for a crypto wallet. And then that basically rolled into a lot of DMs and some helpful conversation as to how we can make it compatible with crypto wallets. And MetaMask input, like that means a lot. And then come this point where MetaMask was doing this Snap, and they asked if we would love to work with them so that, notifications can be natively bought into MetaMask. And that's what we did. So for example, right now, if you go to MetaMask, you have this notification section. And you do have this one extra step wherein you have to install Push Snap. But once you do, after that, whatever protocols you have opted in to receive notifications, they can send it right on your MetaMask and it will appear right over there. Again, a very huge partnership, and we are so excited about it. But yeah, that's how it started. And then, it just was... I think it was meant to be, because that was our vision, that Web3 UX, if the Web3 communication layer is invented and the blockchain or the L2 of that communication is launched, then we want crypto wallets to adopt. And I'm very thankful that MetaMask is one of the first that did that.
I love that. Harsh, we also got to jump into ETH here. ETH has been very weird recently in a sense of sort of macro narrative. Everyone on crypto Twitter and crypto as a whole is shitting on ETH. Everyone's like, hey, Solana has seen this crazy rip from under $10 to $110. I mean, whenever you're going to get a 10x price raise, everyone's going to be a huge fan of you. But there's also been a lot of airdrops and giving back to the community on Solana. We've seen tons of building, tons of development, tons of execution. We haven't really seen a whole lot of that on ETH recently. You are tied into ETH. You are one of the ETH goats. What's going on with ETH? Are we going to see, I don't even care. I'm not a big price prediction guy. I don't want to ask you about if the price is going to go up because none of us really know. But on the sort of development side of things, what's going on, with ETH development? Because we haven't seen a whole lot recently.
Sure. I would say that's not true. There's a Tenkan upgrade that's going to come very soon that brings blobs into the equation, making L2s very, very cheap, or even cheaper than what they have. With ETH, of course, we started from the Ethereum ecosystem and then we went for all of Web3. So we will always love ETH, and ETH is something that where I think innovation really fosters. Coming to Solana, I love what they're doing as well. It's not like that they're not doing great amount of work. And I really believe that in the future, there will be niche blockchains, like ETH will maybe be that innovation hub, and Solana will maybe be a hub for something else, maybe NFTs or maybe meme coins or something else. And all of them, they will just be integrated, and they will just operate in a manner wherein the technology becomes transparent. Again, same thing, like we are streaming, we are probably using 4 or 5 protocols to get this unique and magical experience. And that is something I think Web3 will become. On the price point, I just have one thing for people to know, Solana went from $200 to $8, right? That's basically a 99% downside. And then they are coming back up. And ETH basically went from $4,800, let's say, to $1,500. And then they're coming back up. So between ETH and Solana, I mean, Solana is a new technology that is upcoming, and it will have that volatile swings. But with ETH, it has basically become stronger and stronger with each cycle. I don't know whether this will be repeated in this cycle, but chances are that it will be just because of the way ETH is performing currently. Like in the past 7 days, ETH is up like let's say 15% or so, and if you compare like the downside that ETH got when the market was down and the upside that ETH will get when the market is coming up, again, it depends on risk factor of all the other people. But if I view it like that, I still love ETH. In that, I mean, in the price thing, when you're comparing the tech thing, like I mean, me and my entire team is very grateful for ETH because that's how we started, and very grateful for this brilliant ecosystem that we have in Ethereum. Not to say that Solana's ecosystem is bad or anything, but when you ask me, it's always going to be Ethereum first.
No, very good point there. And yeah, it's true. That's how you guys got the start. I know you obviously don't run the social accounts for Push, but you guys joined Farcaster. I've watched the videos. I haven't joined yet. Don't really have a good reason why I haven't joined either. I don't know if I fully believe in it, but you guys are you seeing any traction there? Like, have you yourself messed around with it? What's going on with Farcaster?
I mean, Farcaster, I think they're doing amazing work right now. One of the things that we loved, and that's when we joined, was how they bought Frames, which is basically a way to do Web3 native things right on Farcaster. I think innovation is something that Web3 really should honor and really should try it out. So when Farcaster launched it, we wanted to explore that system out. And of course, I and Risa, we were on Farcaster before that. But we thought it might be good that Push is also over there, just because someone is trying to break this innovation barrier, and Web3 has gotten this far because people have tried to push the innovation barrier. And when someone is trying to do that, I do think that other people should go and check it out and should go and try it out, just because that's how we'll move forward, and that's how we will go to that billion users when we are trying innovations and when we are valuing innovations out.
I love it. Harsh, any other aspects of crypto that are really getting you going at the moment, besides the stuff that you guys are working on, besides the token gating, the messaging, the notifications, of course? Any other areas of crypto? Have airdrops tickled your fancy, perhaps? We've had tons of modular versus monolithic blockchain debates on the pod. What's tickling your fancy at the moment?
I mean, and let's divide this question to two. So for Push, like one thing that we are very excited about, apart from these features, is the upcoming launch of Push Network, which basically means that Push becomes like, let's say, our layer 2 for all the communications. We are very excited about it, and we are very excited about the unveil of Push nodes, which will basically make this a network in its own, or a blockchain in its own. Very excited about that in Push. But other than that, in the overall system, I think I'm very excited about different L2s coming into Ethereum. I think people in the mid or short term, they will have to choose one L2 or the other L2. But in the medium to long term, they will emerge a winner out that is going to do things very right. I think Polygon is trying to work on the same thesis, wherein they want to become this aggregate layer. So they are trying to solve the problem that will come in the future when all these L2s are live and all these L2s are working. So I'm very excited about the L2 scenario and how it will play out. Also love Polygon. So I love the vision that they are working on, and I would love to see how that goes forward. I also think DeFi 2.0 is evident, so very excited to see what new things we see in DeFi 2.0 and how it basically works in this cross-chain environment that we are moving forward on.
I love it. Harsh, always a pleasure having you on, my man. Can't wait to have you on for round 4. You crush it as always, bring the noise. And again, super pumped and proud of you and the team. You guys are always shipping new stuff, new partnerships. It seems like literally a couple times a week. And there's nothing slowing you guys down. And can't wait till you achieve your goal of helping onboard the next billion users to blockchain. As always, I would appreciate if you could let our listeners know where they could find you personally and Push online and on socials.
First of all, thanks for having me, Matt. I'm really, really pumped when I'm talking to you, and I've told you off camera so many times, like the way you speak to your interviewees, you have a way by which they just keep on going and talking. So kudos to you for
appreciate the kind words,
that,
brother. Appreciate it.
For that capability. Yeah, coming back. So guys, you can follow Push on Twitter at Push Protocol. Best way is you just go to push.org, push.org, scroll all the way down and you can go to Twitter. Or if you want to come chat and hang out, then Discord or Push Chat. Both of them you can find on push.org. If you want to follow me on Twitter, then you can do so by just following Harsh Rajat, HARSHRAJAT. And yeah, we can be friends on Twitter or on Push Chat.
You got it. As always, folks, I will include everything in the show notes. Harsh, thanks again, brother. Appreciate it. And can't wait for round 4.
Thanks, man. Likewise.
Folks, what an episode with Harsh Rajat, the co-founder and project lead of Push Protocol, formerly known as EPNS. Harsh always brings the noise, and that's why we keep having him on. We discussed everything Push related, ETH, bringing notifications to Web3, token gated messaging, Web3 native comms, partnerships, you name it. Huge shout out to Harsh and the team for making this happen. If you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please do subscribe. It would mean the world to my team and I. Speaking to the team, love you guys so much. Eustace, you're the man. Appreciate you as always. And back to the listeners, love you guys. Keep on growing those bags and keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. Bye for now, and we'll talk soon.